Chrysler Hall brings Broadway to the deaf and hearing impaired. Learn how and meet the people who helped make it happen. Take action against Alzheimer's disease. A caregiver offers her advice. And get ready for a gala and golf weekend in support of a special cause, single moms. Stay right where you are for Human Services Forum. Hello, I'm Jan Callahan, and welcome to Human Services Forum. We have a special show today. If you have ever attended a musical, a Broadway musical, for instance, and you've gone and enjoyed the music and the showmanship and the beautiful costumes, and you come away feeling good, well, you're a very fortunate person. For people who cannot hear, whether they were born with a hearing loss or have acquired one, don't have that same luxury. However, that's about to change. Chrysler Hall is going to be offering open captioning for the deaf and hearing impaired beginning October 1st of this year for their 2011-2012 Broadway series season. And I have with me to explain all of this Mahri Hodges, and she is with the Department of Civic Facilities, which they know as 7 Venues.
That's
is
right.
That right?
Yes.
And she's going to explain a little bit about what you can expect in terms of the shows being offered, and also some of the dates, and why this may be important to a venue like Chrysler Hall and to our community. Shirley Confino Reeder joins us. She is the chair for the Commission for Persons with Disabilities in the City of Norfolk. Shirley has been an advocate for pretty much anybody and is very, very close to our next guest, who is Angela Hill. Angela Hill is the one who pointed out that there was a grant available to actually bring this to the City of Norfolk, and it's Angela's sharp eyes and intellect that allowed Shirley to jump on it and make it happen, and sure enough, they got the word. So we have accompanying Angela a woman, Lois, who is going to be helping Angela in hearing and understanding what it is we're discussing, and we will be speaking with Angela, and she will speak herself about her experiences with having this type of technology available to the masses. So let us get started. Mahri, so sorry. Mahri has a lovely name. She says it's British, so that's why I'm stumbling.
No worries.
The idea of having open captioning for a venue here in Norfolk is a bit different than what we've had in the past.
Yes.
What does that mean, basically, to people who would be attending?
Well, first of all, we're so proud and we're grateful to Shirley and Angela to give us the opportunity to even provide this. I think we're the first in the area to be able to do this kind of programming. And I was talking to Shirley earlier. A lot of times, you know, as patrons, until you're afflicted with something or dealing with something, you don't even think about it. And a large portion of our Broadway subscriber base does struggle with hearing, whether it's due to old age or just, you know, deafness. So to be able to provide this to a whole group of people that originally probably wouldn't have, you know, spent the money to halfway hear a show or something like that, you're bringing back people to the theater. So to be able to do that is great. But basically, in the past, we had assisted listening devices, which are basically discrete headsets that worked on an infrared system and would amplify the actors and musicians' voices and sounds and things like that. And then we've also, in the past for Broadway, engaged American Sign Language interpreters. But this is a whole new ball game. So for patrons coming, this will be provided. The opening captioning system will be provided at all the matinees of the Broadway shows. And we have 9 shows in our Broadway series this year, but 2 of them we will not be doing opening captioning because these are non-dialogue shows. So Blue Man Group and Mannheim Steamroller, we won't have them because these are just orchestras, and so it wouldn't apply. But for every other show, the 2 p.m. matinee, this opening captioning service will be available. So basically, if you were a patron and you were interested in this, you would call our box office, you would ask them, let them know that you're, you know, eligible, interested. They would save you the seats. It's no extra cost. And then if you were to be looking at the theater, it's going to be an electronic text display on the left-hand side that's going to walk you through everything the actors are saying, what the musicians are singing, what's, you know, the sound effects on stage. So that's just such a new arena for people who maybe the amplification wasn't enough, or, you know, it's a whole new arena, and it's bringing back people to the theater that otherwise might not have, you know, partook in something as so much fun as going to the theater.
Right. And one of the things too is that when people come to the theater and have open captioning, you're not standing out from anybody else. You're just there to actually enjoy the performance. Anybody can look at the captioning, and some of them may find it helpful even if they do not have a hearing impairment.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so it works out, and my understanding too is it's not just the script, but the utterances and the things, the gasps and the ahs and all of the real life types of sounds that people make to really enhance a production and a performance.
And for anybody who's watching this, or, you know, when the word spreads, we highly encourage feedback, because we want to know how this is working, if it's working, what kind of other innovations that people would like to see. Because theater isn't designed for one special demographic. It should be open to everybody. But we don't know that unless we get the feedback. So whether we're doing it right, whether we're doing it wrong, we want to know. So if you go to 7venues.com, our website, we'll have the information for each show to remind you which show is going to have open captioning, and then other accessibility programs that the venue does offer.
Okay, and the first one is Rain, which is a tribute to the Beatles, correct?
Yes, it's a tribute to the Beatles, and so that'll be October 1st. So once again, you would be going to the matinee, which is at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's going to take you back from the classics all the way to, they're going to do some material that the Beatles recorded but never performed live.
Wow.
And these guys have mastered everything, every nuance known to the Beatles, every head shake, costume, everything. So
This is not Muzak.
No.
I guarantee you.
No.
Sorry, Muzak, but it's not
like
Muzak.
a
It is
cheesy
wonderful.
Cover band. Yeah, it's
Yes.
done very well. Elaborate sets, you know, and these are real musicians. No audio toning or audio tuning, things like that. This is real lifetime music.
Great. Marie, thank you. That's good background to have. And Shirley, as being involved with the Commission for Persons with Disabilities, you deal with people with all types of these issues, and certainly the idea of having open captioning in a performance or in a venue such as Chrysler Hall that brings a variety of things to town must be just a real great feeling for you. I know that you were involved in getting some of those things through. Was it a surprise that you were when you were notified that this was?
No, you know, I am the positive thinker. Once Angela told me about the ability to apply for the funding for the grant, I jumped on it and I spoke to the people involved in New York. Lisa Carling gave me the name of David Hsu, who was the innovator and the sponsor. He told me what I had to do, and I contacted Dave Ransom, and he told me Steve, I forgot his name, Henninger, and I told him what he had to write. We followed. I
bet you did.
I did. And then when his request went out for the request for the funding, I followed up with another grant request, and the rest is history. I made the announcement. I think I made the announcement of our working towards it at your last meeting in April, and we're here now. We're very excited. I'm hoping that it will be extended for the following years.
So getting the word out about this being available is, of course, the next big step, and we hope that perhaps this is one way to do that.
Well, the first thing I said to Amari is we have to advertise, and I will get her names of all of the organizations who have email, have newsletters, and she will have the obligation and the liberty to advertise continuously.
All right.
And of course, all our mayors, all the commissions in the Southampton roads will be advertising too.
Wonderful. I'd like to turn to Angela, who, of course, is the one who got this whole thing started. So we can't say it's her fault. We just say it's probably her pleasure to know that all of this is coming true. Angela, Shirley describes you as persistent and a strong advocate for the deaf and hearing impaired. When you learned that Norfolk was being awarded this grant, what was your initial reaction?
Wow. My first initial reaction was of pure excitement. When I first found out about it, I was reading my email, and I received this email, and when I read it, I was jumping up, doing cartwheels, and my husband that day, he had to work late, and so he was trying to get that little bit of sleep in, so I was trying not to wake him up, so I went to the room, and I said, baby, they're going to have captioning here, and so I was just so excited. But once I came back down to earth and reality check, I immediately called Miss Shirley, and she was just as happy as I was to know that we will have the open captioning initiative coming to Chrysler Hall.
Great. Tell me a little bit about your hearing loss, Angela, so folks understand.
I've had a progressive hearing loss all my life. I was diagnosed either at the age of 3 or 6, but it's been a progressive, starting from moderate now to profound. And so I was mainstream, believe it or not, in Norfolk Public Schools from grades 1 through 12. And so basically I do speech reading, which is one-on-one communication with persons, but still that does not cover everything. So captioning and CART tremendously fills the gap where I am unable to receive information through one-on-one. Okay. So CART and captioning is very, very important to me.
Incidentally, CART is what is taking place now with the laptops. We couldn't get into too much of an explanation of that right now because we want to focus on what's happening. So, have you had this captioning or CART before in any other venues, to your knowledge, Angela?
Yes, I put in a request at several venues. Chrysler Hall, Stadler Center in Virginia Beach, and Willard Hall in Portsmouth. I put in a request. They didn't know what it was, but they were willing to accommodate. And so, so my thought was, if I need it, there are others with hearing loss who can benefit from captioning, who would need captioning as well. So this is what brought us to where we are now with the Open Captioning Initiative.
That's where the persistence is, I believe.
That's right.
Yes, Shirley agrees. So essentially that is how the open captioning was brought here. You're checking, asking people to consider it. What else do you think helped in bringing it here?
What else do I think?
Yeah, the collaborative, for instance, is an important part of this, correct? The CCAC?
Yes. What brought how I found out about the Open Captioning Initiative, I am a part of an organization called the Collaborative for Communication Access via Captioning, short CCAC. It's an online, they can be found online, and it's a captioning advocacy group that want to bring greater awareness for the need of captioning and CART in various segments of society to include live performances. So I brought to their attention how I would like to have captioning at live performances. Unbeknownst to me, there was someone with the Theater Development Fund who must have been kind of listening in or reading all the various comments via email. And so I had no idea that someone was, was aware, was kind of reading the back and forth communication that was going on. So in March, that's when I received an email from someone who's affiliated with the Theater Development Fund, which is the Opening Caption Initiative, and he asked me, would you like to have this in your region? And I said, sure, and that's what made me very excited. I said, yes, I would like to, as well as others with hearing loss who can benefit from it, would like to have it here in this region. And so this is what brings us here today.
Well, this is just wonderful. So the Broadway series for Chrysler Hall is beginning October 1st, a 2 p.m. matinee for open captioning, Marie, and we have wonderful opportunity for the deaf and hearing impaired And Angela was in the right place at the right time, and good things have come from this with the help of Shirley Confino Reeder and of course Marie, who is there to promote it. So you'll be hearing more. Thank you very much for joining us. This was great. And Angela, we really enjoyed hearing what you have to say about this. It's very important, I know, to you and to others. And we will be right back in a minute so you can learn how you can join a team that's taking action against Alzheimer's. We'll be right back.
Lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children today. Just 3 granules of lead dust can harm your child. If your home was built before 1978, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Inaugural World Alzheimer's Month is being celebrated throughout September. It's a chance to highlight the everyday heroes who are making a difference in the fight against Alzheimer's disease. And joining me are Gino Colombara, who is Executive Director for the Alzheimer's Association of Southeastern Virginia, and we have Michelle Carter, who is an Alzheimer's advocate and caregiver, who is going to share her perspective on this. There are some activities that are going on throughout the month,
right?
And with the local Alzheimer's chapter, you're getting involved in your own way. So, Gino, what is going on?
Well, we've got a lot going on. Of course, we have our Walk to End Alzheimer's, which kicks off really September 17th on the Eastern Shore, but our walk locally here is in Virginia Beach on October 16th at Neptune Park. And for those who can't attend that, we have one in Suffolk at Constant Wharf, October 8th. And then if you want to go on the other side of the water, we have one on the 22nd in Newport News, and then Williamsburg on the 29th. So a lot of activities to get out there, the energy. But you know, this is September is World Alzheimer's Month, and it really brings to light that this is not just a national issue, it's a global issue. There's almost 35 million people worldwide dealing with this disease, so this is a global fight, and it's our opportunity to really get out there and really take strides to really put an end to this disease, especially with the 77 million baby boomers coming of age within the next 20 years, and 1 in 8 65 or older will have Alzheimer's disease. So we have to really take those steps to advance research so we can really create those disease-modifying drugs to help those people who are going to be affected by this disease. Okay.
Michelle, as a caregiver, it's often like you are in your own world when you are dealing with a loved one who has this disease. So having it move out to a global perspective must be kind of interesting for someone who has always seen it as a very, very personal thing. It is very personal, but it's also a personal thing shared by many.
Yes, the more and more you reach out and talk to people, the more you realize that somebody knows somebody, whether it's a loved one or a friend who has had to deal with Alzheimer's disease. So the more I campaign for this, tell my story, share my story, I'm able to receive stories as well back.
And can you share a little bit about what you're doing?
Yes, my mother battled Alzheimer's for 17 years. She lost her struggle in April 21st of this year. My father was the primary caregiver. My family and I were assisting him in the caring for her. I was 16 when she was diagnosed back in 1996, so over half my life I've known her to have Alzheimer's.
So she was younger when she was diagnosed?
She was. She was in her late 50s. Okay. She died, she was 70 in 6 days. So she was able to make it to her 70th birthday.
Wow, wow. It is. It's a very, very difficult and very personal struggle, and each person deals with it in their own way. One of the things you're doing is getting involved in some of the activities to advocate for the research and all of the things that we all, as a part of that generation that's coming up, really want to know more about, because we know we won't want to see others go through it. Either way.
Especially ourselves, too. Family members, that's what we worry about.
Yes, yes. And so that you're involved in the walk, is that?
This is my second year, yes. We're Team Jane's Angels.
Okay.
So last year it was in honor, and this year is in memory.
Okay.
So it's going to be special for us this year.
Great. So what do you do when it's walk? Tell me a little bit about what people can expect.
Great festivities prior to. They have a lot of activities, lots of speakers. I believe the YA organization.
The YA organization, Young Adults for Alzheimer's Awareness. Also this year we're launching a Promise Garden where people will actually have a flower that they can plant along the route and write on it and then take home with them as a memento of their time at the walk. And on September 21st is Alzheimer's Action Day. And what we're asking everybody to do is wear purple that day. And if you have your organization, everybody wearing purple, you can email us a photo and we'll put it up on our website. And we're going to be kicking off the Southampton Roads Walk, which is October 16th at the oceanfront at Cheeseburger in Paradise in Lynn Haven from 6 to 8 p.m. And we're encouraging people to come down there and have a good time and wear your purple.
Okay, and this brings a lot of people together who have those stories to share. It's sort of like a extra large support group.
Yeah, it really is, and it really just creates community. It really engages people, and it allows people to know that there are a lot of services here, so they don't have to be alone with this disease.
Yes.
We have a 24-hour helpline. We have care consultations, a Medical Alert Safe Return program to address wandering issues, a lot of education, a lot of early Alzheimer support type initiatives, and it's all free for our families. And these events like the Walk to End Alzheimer's help make that possible. So we really want to engage the community. We really want to show our purple on September 21st and at all our walks. And if they can just call us at 800-272-3900 or go to our website, alz.org/walk, and they can sign up for a walk and join our teams.
All right, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing the information and for coming to Michelle. I know that the stories are difficult sometimes to speak of, but they do reach others, and that's the important part, is to let people know they're not alone.
It's about creating community. It really is.
Yes. Thank you so
Jan.
much.
Thank you.
Well, when we come back, meet the husband and wife team that is reaching out to help single mothers with their journey for success. Don't go away.
So, do you have any questions?
What is your soup of the day?
We have a mulligatawny soup.
Oh, do you have any specials?
We have a steak special today.
Oh, how's that cooked?
That's pan-seared and then...
Does it come with a side dish? Is it grilled? Can I have it steamed? So, what do you recommend? What kind of pie do you have? You're an actor. Aren't you from Ohio?
Any questions?
Ask questions. For the 10 questions everyone should know, go to ahrq.gov.
What better way to raise money for a good cause than to have a good time doing it? That is the aim of the 2011 Hope Gala and Golf Weekend. And to bring us details are Monica and Tony Brothers. They're co-founders of Still Hope Foundation, Inc. Thank you for joining us. You have a passion for something that many people are aware of, but maybe don't know how to address. I do want to incidentally say, if you recognize Tony, he is a referee with the NBA, but that's not why he's here. He has another passion. And his passion is to work with his wife on helping women, single mothers, find their way and realize their dreams, because they're not unreachable.
Right.
So Still Hope Foundation, what is its basis and why are you what you are?
Well, Still Hope Foundation focuses on the needs of single moms. We don't provide financial assistance. We're really there to provide support and guidance, usually through a transitional time. A lot of women feel like when they don't have a spouse or a significant other to help them parent, they kind of lose their way, and so we just provide a mentoring relationships, so to speak, for community volunteers, and they help them navigate through what's going on in their lives, giving them some unbiased feedback so that they can make great choices so their family can end up being successful and strong.
The whole idea of it being unbiased feedback is an interesting comment, because it is such an emotional journey for so many people when you have a child and you don't have somebody else that's helping to move life forward. But it's not an unusual situation for people any longer. Tony, what do you see as the solution for the public at large in terms of how they view single moms? Don't you think there is a bit of still a bit that I wouldn't say prejudice, but just simply a mindset that says, well, you know, attitude, I suppose. How is that being overcome?
Well, I think the reason that we got involved is we're both products of single moms, but it's not the story that our moms weren't able to take care of us. They were actually very successful. Right. So the fact that they were very successful, and then we look at the fact that we're successful, then there has to be a correlation between the two. Mm-hmm. So what we did was we tried to figure out where the holes exist for others, and that's what we're trying to do, and trying to sort of provide that patch for them, because in most instances there's not a lot of things that they're missing, but the pieces are significant. So what we're trying to do is kind of bridge the gap so that they can get over the hump.
One of the things too is that being a single mother isn't necessarily because you don't have a husband, because of circumstances that many people may assume, but single mothers are single mothers for a number of reasons. There can be the loss of a spouse, for instance. So widows would be one.
Widows. Mm-hmm. You may have divorce situations. Many times there are domestic violence situations that were, of course, unforeseen, but you ended up in a situation that you weren't prepared for. So now what do I do to take care of my, my children and myself? And you're right, I think there is a stigma, and a lot of people do attach that to maybe someone who wasn't responsible and doesn't want to take care of a family. But you have women who are educated and find themselves in those situations, but they need a little bit of help just trying to navigate what the next step should be. Mm-hmm. So we hope to dispel all those myths that sometimes people unfortunately attach to the term single mother.
Okay. And there's an upcoming gala and golf weekend. I'll do this quickly since we're short on time. That will be what date?
September the 17th is the gala. It's at the Virginia Beach Convention Center. It features national recording artists Jonathan Butler, Mesa, Eric Darius, and Rick Braun. John King from CNN, along with Alveda Ewell will be our MCs. And then the golf is on September the 18th at Virginia Beach National Golf Club, and we'll have a lot of NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball players there to play with our guests.
Well, there you go. That's a draw in and of itself, but for a wonderful cause. I'm sorry we don't have more time.
Oh, thank you.
But I'm glad we could get the word out. And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.